to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today I'm going to be doing a mukbang. I haven't done one of these before. I'm just sitting in the car. It's raining. I hope it's not too loud, but I just got some food from Wendy's, some breakfast from Wendy's, and I'm waiting for my mom to get her hair done. So I decided that I wanted to do a little mukbang video and kind of talk about a few things that's been going on lately. Wendy's. Oh, I love their potato wedges for breakfast. I don't even need ketchup. First, I want to talk about Derrick Jxn. I never really talked about his whole scandal the first go round, but Derrick Jxn, in case you don't know, he's like a relationship guru. He sits in his car much like I'm doing right now. He makes videos telling women about men and what to look out for with men. I've seen his videos. I never followed him because I always feel like men that make content like that are scamming. I don't know why. I just feel like scammers to me. And a lot of times it turns out to be true. Nice looking guy. I never got the impression that he was married. He just seemed like he was a single guy speaking from experience of dogging women out. There was a cheating scandal that came out centered around his name. And as you can imagine, to the average viewer, I'm sure it shot his credibility and, just made him look bad because you're giving advice about men that are players and things like that. And you are that man. I guess you would know. It was this huge scandal. And we never saw his wife, really. He didn't really have his wife in the forefront of things. But when we did finally see his wife, she wasn't what I think a lot of people expected her to be. Very much saved, honey. She wears the helmet of salvation. The bonnet she had on, she called that the helmet of salvation. Really, I didn't like the backlash that the wife got because a lot of people criticized her for looking plain or not wearing makeup. Weave, makeup, nails done. A lot of people said she looked like a hostage in that video, like she didn't really want to do the video. But it seemed like it blew over after a while and people moved on. But then a few days ago, it came out that he was out with another woman that was clearly not his wife. Once again, oh yeah, the first go around, he cheated with women that looked nothing like his wife. But surprisingly, I saw some pictures of how his wife used to dress before, I guess maybe before they got married or towards the beginning of their marriage versus now. Completely different. She was dressing the same way. Maybe she got saved and changed her ways. I don't know. And so once again, he got caught out with another woman and he was kind of forced to put it out there that he was divorcing his wife, and he's the one who filed, which is shocking to me since he was the one who was cheating all up and down. But you know what? I'm glad he went ahead and filed because stop playing around with this woman. I have compassion for this woman because I really do feel like she is suffering mentally, so I'm not gonna go in on her. I do feel like she needs help, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, back to Derrick, because I feel like the focus should be on him because he's the one's out here cheating on his wife, gallivanting, presenting himself one way when he's really acting like another, lying, deceiving. He was at this huge event that big celebrities are at, and you just don't care about whether you get caught or not. I feel like he's just very disrespectful towards her. The conversation around this situation now is, what's the point of being modest? Because a man is going to cheat on you anyway. So what's the point of being modest, right? Speaking as a woman who dresses modestly. One, I feel like people's definition of modesty is drab, colorless, jean skirts with tennis shoes, not fashionable, not stylish. When in fact you can be fashionable and stylish, if I do say so myself, while being modest. I do feel like there are people out there that make modesty a personality trait and condemn women as often as they can who are not modest, right? I'm someone who dresses modest, but I would never, you see it from how I dress. I don't have to tell you I dress modest. You could look at me and see that I dress modest. I really don't show much cleavage, too much leg. That's my conviction. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. That's what I feel comfortable in. I'm not doing it for anyone else. I'm not doing it because somebody told me to. I'm, 31 years old. I dress how I want to dress. That is the way that I choose to present myself. You know what I'm saying? But I also am not trying to force that on anyone else. So with the whole conversation, I just want to add my 2 cents because I feel like the people that are modest, we get lumped into the stereotype when in actuality a lot of us are modest and we don't care how anyone else is dressed. I'm worried about how I dress and what I look like. You know what I'm saying? This is why I don't do mukbangs, because I feel like it's kind of rude to be talking and eating at the same time. Derrick Jxn has shown his true colors more than once. Beware of false prophets. Okay, that's all I have to say. Okay, now that I've gotten that out the way, now I want to talk about this situation with Diddy and Carisha, Young Miami. I want this to be a lesson to young girls out there. Having a man with money isn't everything. If that man does not respect you, if that man is humiliating you, it's not worth your dignity. So for those who don't know, Diddy is, what do you call him? A rapper, a mogul. He's a billionaire. And he's been in the industry for a long time, okay? He has a long, sordid history of being a player, constantly cheating on the women that he's with. He was with his longtime partner, Kim Porter, and he cheated on her and had a baby with another lady. So his twin girls and his daughter by that other lady, they're the same age. That just goes to show you like how he rolls in relationships.
Not to mention how he strung Cassie along for years and years and years, never marrying her. And when she finally got the strength to leave him, she found someone and immediately got married and started her own family. It just goes to show you that's what she wanted all along, and he wasn't willing to give that to her.
I feel like he has no respect for women, and I feel like he does not set a good example for his children. So now that he's older, he's in his 50s, he's still in his player ways. He's not trying to settle down, but at least now he's being honest about it, and the women all know about each other. He has these young girls that he dates. I believe he dated Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's daughter at one point, and she's like younger than me. She has to be like 20, in her mid-20s, if that. He dates young women, and these women are with him for the money and the power and the access. Young Miami is a rapper, and she is, I guess, his most famous paramour, but she has her own money. She's successful in her own right. From what I know, he considers himself single, but she said they go together real bad. From the little research I've done, they go together real bad. I feel like she's trying to change the narrative now, but that was what she was saying back then. I will say he does acknowledge Young Miami. You know, she says that she's in it for the money and she knows what the situation is, but she constantly gets into it with the other women that he's dealing with. That never made sense to me, because if you already know the situation, you know what it is, whatever anybody else has to say in that situation, y'all should be on the same page, or it shouldn't bother you. It should roll off your back because you already know your position as far as what you are trying to convey to us. But I feel like in real life, it bothers her. In real life, she would love to be at least the one that matters the most. So when he makes these public declarations about how much he cares about her and how he feels about her, and oh yes, she's my shawty and whatever, she wants the public to think that, you know what I'm saying? And every time I see anything about them in the headlines, the people in the comments are saying, well, she's getting money, he flying her this place, he taking her on trips, he doing that, he gave her a show. She has her own money to do that for herself. She doesn't need his money to do that. Like, I get it. You would much rather spend somebody else's money, but is it worth your dignity? Is it worth how he's making you look crazy in the headlines? Is that really worth it to y'all? And if that is worth it, I have to ask you, why? Like, for a regular person, maybe I could see why you would put up with it, because, you know, you want your bills paid. You know what I'm saying? You want to travel. You probably would never be able to do the things you'd be able to do with that sort of billionaire money. But for someone who does have it, who's going to be traveling anyway because you're a megastar, why are you willing to play second fiddle to the other women in this relationship? Recently, he announced that he's had a child by Jane Doe. I don't know her name, but, you know, I'm sure her information is out there now. Right after, we have Young Miami online trying to act unbothered, going off on anybody that might have anything negative to say. A lot of people might say, oh, she knew what was up. Oh, she doesn't care. Oh, she just wants the money. But I distinctly remember her saying, maybe not too long ago, that she wanted a child. I remember her saying that because I remember thinking that's so stupid for her to, because we know her to be with Diddy. Why are you trying to have another child with him? He's now on his 7th child. So why would you want to do that? I remember thinking that. So that's why it's so distinct in my mind. I remember her saying she wants to have another child. So you can't tell me that it doesn't sting that he just had a woman with someone else that maybe she wasn't even worried about. You know what I'm saying? She's arguing with the other women over here, squawking, and maybe you didn't even know over here a baby was coming into the situation. Once again, you're embarrassed, and on a wide scale, you're embarrassed. Everybody's clowning you. Everybody's looking at you like, why are you subjecting yourself to this? And yes, he's come out and said she's not a side chick or whatever, but what is she? Not somebody you respect? Stop listening to what people are saying and start looking into what the situation actually is. Because when you get with a rich man, he has the power. Yes, you're getting trips, you're getting bags, you're getting houses, you're getting all that. But what are you trading? Because that man is going to rule your life. You're going to have to jump when he says jump. Now, there are rare occasions where you can find a rich man that actually loves you. But a lot of times, rich men like to use their money and wield their power in order to dominate. And they get off on it. We've seen it time and time again with especially celebrity men. Oh my goodness. But I feel like Diddy gets power trips over dealing with these women, and he uses his money to control the situation. He shows us with how reckless he is with his actions. He knows this would be a huge embarrassment to the women that he deals with, mainly Carisha, because you know they're the most associated in the press. The craziest thing is he gets so much out of the relationship with her because he gets to stay relevant. She keeps him relevant to younger people, because who really would care about Diddy? Let's be real. Who really would care about Diddy without a young girl like Carisha, who's popular with young kids, keeping him relevant? And so because she has this young fan base, they're looking at this like, this is something that I want to do. I would love to have a billionaire, you know, but she's not telling you what's really going on behind the scenes. She's not telling you how she's really getting treated until something like this comes out and we see it, like it's exposed, the veil is drawn back, and we can actually see she can't possibly be happy with this situation. That money ain't worth all this. The notoriety ain't worth all this. And a lot of people, well, he gave her a TV show. I've seen people on YouTube with the same setup as her. She could have easily got on YouTube and gotten all the coins straight to her pockets. Whereas she is the one that is bringing Diddy an audience, a younger audience, a wider audience. She's putting money in his pocket. And I'm sure she's getting paid. I'm sure she's getting something out of it. Don't get me wrong. But she could have made her own platform. Do you know how many people on YouTube have millions and millions and millions of subscribers and followers, and get the engagement, get the brand deals, get all that without fame or celebrity or a following? She already has a following. She could have did that on her own. She didn't need Diddy. And so that's what I'm talking about. It's this false illusion that he is actually upgrading her life when she don't need him. I don't care how much money I don't care how much money he got. It's not worth losing your dignity. It's not. And so I hope young girls are looking at this and seeing through it. This is not an ideal situation for a successful woman. It's not. You can get someone who actually loves you and appreciates you and will not embarrass you, will put you up on a pedestal, will not look at any other woman, will focus on you, will be monogamous. And, you know, she could say all day that, you know, she doesn't mind, but you acting real bothered by going off on everybody that has something to say about it. You're a celebrity. People gonna have something to say about you. So anyway, y'all, this is probably gonna be my last mukbang because I can't eat and think straight, and I hate talking and eating at the same time. So I'm gonna get off this camera and go ahead and eat my sausage sandwich. But y'all let me know what y'all think down below. I would love to hear your opinion, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.